Hello, family and friends. Getting my chair all adjusted, doing my little dances here. It is a beautiful day here in Brattleboro. Just got to spend some time at the West River because it's in the mid 80s, so that means the river was calling. It needed us in it, and I needed to be in it. Even left the kids there, left the kids at the river. Um, no, I didn't leave my kids. I'm all good. All right, who's that? Is that Kyle? Is that you? All righty. Thank you for being here, everybody. Uh, Beautiful day out. It's the time of day. Thank you for being here because you made it to this part of your day. And I'm grateful that you made it to this part of your life. There, for me, what's going on? What is going on? Um, I'm riding the wave a little bit. I've taken on some water, life water, and I've tumbled. Little tensions going on in my life. Just trying to get to the point where I can safely run a summer camp this summer and making sure that everyone is healthy and safe. And that is holding my tensions. Also, the fact that I will be missing my children for the summer. So I'm actually putting a down payment on a disappointing future. And I don't need to do that. I don't. And the reason why I'm addressing that is because how do we move forward when we are dealing with stuff that looks like it's going to be a disappointment? How do I deal with that? And first of all, I'm addressing it. I'm recognizing the things that have me tense, that what has my anxiety raised to that point. And missing my kids is one. Moving out of my apartment, moving into my summer digs. There's a lot of things that all build up and stack up, and they're life things. Each of us has to deal with them in many different ways. Alvin Tucker, thank you for being here. There's someone else. Who is it? Who is the Corn Collections? Hadn't seen you here before. Thank you for joining. So how do we handle when stress levels are risen, when our anxieties are peaking? So for me, there's one of the things I do is I'll address it. I'll go, what is it that's stressing me? So I have one ear just heard the kids coming in from in the apartment. So making sure that they don't come running in on us, which they probably will. And there's a door closed. There's a dog coming through that door. So all of a sudden I become Halo. And what's happening? Hold on, I have to shut the door because that bright light back here is a bit distracting and on the... Wow, the door shut itself. Thank you. So addressing those, I don't know if you heard the kids, they helped me out with shutting the door. They are really, and that's one of the things that lowers my stress is the kids are really supportive of this time that I take each day to share, to spread what I have to spread, to radiate. And that's what I had put as the topic today is radiating. How do we? That's the dog coming in again. Who? Baloo. Okay, the dog's laying down on the floor. The door's open, so fortunately, it's not too bad. How to radiate when stress and anxiety has me diminished? I'll reiterate. I address it. What is it to slow me down? What is it that's taking my energy? And then how can I process that? Missy, thank you for joining me. And yes, Alvin says, cast your cares. So in speaking out, so there are some of you may not buy into prayer. And prayer comes in many forms. Doesn't always have to be any one set way. But by casting out, by speaking out what your concerns are, it's very similar to prayer. No, hear me out. It's very similar to prayer, and will have the same effect, because sometimes when you speak it out, somebody might even actually hear you and be able to pass on information. I call that a little divine intervention, especially when you do speak that out and you have a partner or spouse or someone who really cares about you says, "Hey, we can handle that," and that's an answered prayer right there, immediately answered. Many times when I speak it out, it helps me to put it into a different perspective. It's no longer just an idea this is a non-tangible. It's a tangible. Speaking it out. Keenan Billings, thank you for joining me, nephew. And all of us will come across these situations. Sometimes writing it down. There are folks who journal. And I've talked about different kinds of journaling. Journaling doesn't always mean dear diary. You could just write, "I am concerned about," and write it down into your journal. You can put into your journal, "I'm stressed, I'm worried, I'm concerned." You don't even have to put exactly what that is, but in your mind's eye, you start to take that and bring it into a different space. Because we are problem solvers. We are problem solvers. There's a kid off camera trying to get my attention. And Quinn, say hi.
Hi.
All right, now I got to post that this is a kid video. That was Quinn. And Evelina's going to try and sneak on board here. Maybe. By writing it out, speaking it out, there's Evelina. Will you close the door when you head out? Thank you. Or when you come in. You can wave to the camera. That's Evelina. Wave. Okay. There you go. And Keenan says hi, Quinn. And so Keenan says hi. Keenan, Quinn says, "What's up, dude?" So writing it down, speaking it out, so even the writing, for those of you who see this way, can also be a form of prayer. And sometimes writing it is a great marker, because you can go back when you're stressed about something else and look back on that and go, "Whoa, that was something to stress about, and I got through it." Or that wasn't really a great deal, or it didn't play out the way that I had seen that coming. How do you love into the stress? How do I love into that stress? Once again, it's addressing what it is, what's going on. Do I feel conflicted? Do I feel constricted? When I do, I speak to it. And if I don't, in speaking to it, there's many different ways I'll speak to it. Sometimes I'll actually say, "What is it that I need to learn?" I'll just ask the question, what is it I need to learn? What is it that you have to teach me in this moment? So Rachel just mentioned, "Come here, buddy. Come here." All right. So since both kids had their moment, come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Right here. So, come here. Come here. Since both kids had their moment, Blue was supposed to get his moment, but he's being camera shy and will not come and make his appearance here. So yes, Blue does need a moment, but he's not going to take it right now. So going back to, in addressing the stuff that we're dealing with, we are putting it out in prayer. We're laying it out. And it's not that we're stepping away from it, but we're taking it from being a burden to actually being something that can be a resource, can be beneficial for handling this situation and handling other situations. And there is, and Alvin will just keep plugging at this. Thank you, brother, for doing it. There is power in prayer. There is great power in prayer. And one of the other things I said about speaking out about it, so in Scripture, if you're biblically, when two or more are gathered in my name, God is there. the power that we get from each other when we share some of our concerns, and I won't even say baggage or burdens, because they're not burdens until we make them burdens. When we share that, when we speak to somebody, if you have my brother and I constantly are on the phone talking about what is concerning us, so that we're not held back by it. And I will say that a part of my anxiety and my stress is not just about missing my kids, is not just about going off and doing the summer camp, is not about all the COVID problems. Sorry, there was a phone call coming in. So my brother and my aunt are still dealing with, my mother passed away 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, and it was an accidental death. And we're still dealing with lawyers and that stuff. And he had to go over just a deposition that was concerning that day. And it was really tough for him to get through it. So he called me and he shared with me. And we prayed about it first. I said, hey, let's just take this to a place where you can handle this, because it needed to get it done in a timely way. Now, that was on Friday, and that has stuck with me for the weekend and until today. And so all the other things and concerns I have are